This is Scott, the Fix-It Guy. Today we will be repairing a Kenmore direct drive washing machine. Sometimes these have a Kenmore badge, sometimes they'll say Whirlpool. They're actually made by Whirlpool, and Kenmore is just a badge that Sears puts on their machines. But this is a great machine. Service techs really enjoy working on these. They're very easy to maintain and repair, and they're good workhorses. It's a top loading machine. Tend to last for sometimes seen them up to 20 years, but typically I think between 12 and 15 years is pretty common if you take good care of them. One of the main problems with these machines is they get overloaded. People put in too many clothes, too many blankets. These machines are really not even designed to deal with blankets or quilts or sleeping bags, mainly just clothing. If you never surpass these upper holes in terms of how much you fill the machine, you'll be okay. You get up in this area and you're going to start having trouble with overloading the machine, breaking a rubber coupling, all kinds of trouble. Today this machine is having some problems with not letting in the water. The time when the machine should be filling, we're getting a sound, kind of a whining sound, which is showing that the fill solenoid is trying to let the water in, but the water is not coming in. Could be a result that someone has accidentally turned off one or both of these faucet handles, so we're going to check that. We're going to make sure they're turned fully to the left, which means fully open, and they are. So we may have some type of an obstruction in the fill tube. So we're going to turn these off first up, make sure the water pressure is off. That one's off, and then on this side, same thing. That one's fully off, and then we're going to make sure we unplug the unit so we have no power coming to it. Always a safe thing to do. Just wiggle that one out. There we go. And now we're ready to go to the next step, which is to remove the hoses behind the unit. Here we are at the back of the direct drive Whirlpool washing machine. We can see that we have the two fill valve, or the two fill lines coming into the machine, hot and cold. And to disconnect this, you can use channel locks, which are the ones here with the blue handle, or a pair of slip joint pliers. I think today we'll use the channel locks. And whenever you grab these, you want to make sure you're going to go lefty-loosey or counterclockwise to unloosen it. A little water is going to come out because this has been under pressure, and you can have just a towel down there to pick that up. Unloosen this bottom one. The reason we're doing this is there is a possibility that the water is not getting into the unit as a result of some scale that's built up in the little filter that's there to prevent that from entering the machine. So we're just going to check that, clean it, put that back on. Whenever you do a repair, you want to rule out the most simple, most common problem first, and then work your way to the bigger problems if they exist. So here we're removing this one, taking a look. So we can see that there is a little bit of scale or minerals floating around in there that can cause a clog. Looking into the tube, you can see that there's some scale in there too. So that's probably where our problem exists. We're going to do that on both sides. One thing to note, we noticed that the top one had a blue color anodized into the metal, and this one has a gold color. It is important to put these on the same way they came off. One's hot, one's cold. If you get them backwards, the machine will not behave properly. May have trouble when it goes to the rinse cycle because it's going to be trying to rinse with hot water. It won't wash your clothes quite correctly, so it's good to get that correct. So again, this one, we have the blue one on top, and that's the cold one. We can see here too on the machine that it's marked top one cold, bottom one hot. And looking in this one, we can also see that there's some scale. To remove this type of thing, a lot of ways you can do it. One way, effective way, is just using an old toothbrush. Come over here, grab our brushes here. This one is actually a wire brush and a nylon brush, but basically it's a toothbrush. To be a toothbrush for a large person. Alright, so we're just going to go in there and see if we can get some of that built up scale out. This could be one of the reasons that this machine is not filling properly with water. The other possibility we ruled out was maybe the valves here were not turned on all the way. In this case, that was not true. So we're thinking it could be the scale, or it could be the fill solenoid itself, which lives right behind these tubes and is actually very easy to change, but involves removing the cabinet. So it's a little bit more work. So again, you want to start off with the most simple approach, which often is the problem. So we're going to clean that, put it back together, and see if that has solved the problem. Okay, so we've gotten these two fill lines back on nice and tight. Don't want to go too tight because you can actually strip the plastic, but it's pretty hard to turn. We did check again that the blue is on top, cold, and gold one here, or red, is on the bottom, hot. So we know we have that correct. We're going to pressure test it, make sure there's no leaks. We're just coming up to the valves, turn those fully to the left, let all the water come in. Just want to make sure there's no water leaking out where we reconnected. That could cause you some floor damage, which you do not want. So we're looking at that, looks good. So the next thing is we're going to put the washer back in place, plug it in, and we'll see if it's going to fill correctly now. Okay, we have our direct drive washer back in position. We've hooked up our water lines again. They are in full. We've plugged it back in. And we're going to set our dial for normal wash. Pull that out. We have our temperature set for warm, which is going to be good. I think we'll test for cold though first. Make sure the cold water is set up properly. Pull that out to start it. Sounds like the water's flowing good. We'll open this, take a look. Water looks like it's turning in fast. Confirm the temperature. Feels cold, looking good. So let's set it now for hot. You hear the other solenoid open up. Just want to feel the temperature. Definitely hot. Very good. We'll just do one more test here. Setting it for warm, which is a combination of the hot and cold valves that open. Should fill the fastest now. You can see the increased volume of water coming a lot faster. So we know now that this machine is doing good. Clog was probably a result of some sediment that had built up over many years. And that is a repair for today. This is Scott the Fix-It Guy.